Hi, this is Sean from Fortis Fitness with an introduction to our dynamic wall squat machine. So, most people are familiar with a wall squat. It's often done as a static hold, basically lean against the wall, put your feet out, whatever degree you like. There you go. You just hang out, hold. You can grab a plate, hold onto a plate, just add resistance. And you can change this. People have changed the static wall squat from a hold to a movement. Use a ball, and suddenly the thing becomes more dynamic. Right? Really feel it in the quads. It's a great quad exercise. And you're using your whole body, so it's kind of cool. Along the way, somebody got the bright idea of throwing a skateboard against the wall, leaning against the skateboard, and then again, making this movement dynamic. So, interesting idea. So we really like this movement. The exercise has been around for a long time. It's a proven exercise. We wanted to make a machine that allows anyone to do the exercise safely, but to overload it with measurable resistance. So we went ahead and created this dynamic wall squat machine. All right, so Nanette's going to give us a quick demonstration. Thank you very much. Okay, so this piece of equipment has similarities, obviously, to the Smith machine. With the Smith machine, there is no back pad, so you can't lean into like into a wall. With a hack squat, it's a little similar to a hack squat too, but unlike that, the back pad is limited in length, so your entire back is not against that. Plus, you're moving straight up and down vertically, and typically with a hack squat, you're on an angle. So unlike an actual wall squat or a hack squat, what this thing allows, because of the limited back pad, is a really important, natural, healthy lower back extension. So Nanette's going to demonstrate again. And you can see that lower back go into a really nice extension. Thank you. So this machine it does exactly what we wanted it to, which is it replicates a wall squat. You're moving. And it's as close to a free weight exercise as you can, just that we've added the ball. All right, so we want this machine to be very, very loadable. We want as much resistance as possible, whoever wants to challenge themselves on it for whatever movement. It's very important, safety-wise, to have a stopper. So that's exactly what we did. We put in a stopper, so anywhere in the range, depending on your height, the range of your particular movement, whatever exercise you're doing, got the stopper. If you miss a rep, just safely come down, and you hit this thing and you're fine. Okay, one of the best uses we've had for this thing is to overload a front squat or a high bar squat movement and just ignore the back pad. So I can face in or I can face out, have my center of gravity perfect, demonstrate really quick, hop in here, feet directly below me, replicate front squat or high bar squat. Now that's important for a number of reasons, especially with the front squat. People doing the front squat often have a tough time in terms of mobility. There's a lot of crashing with the front squat when you're first learning it. So there's occasionally a lack of confidence by certain lifters for holding it up here. You don't have to do that here. It's also important if you're injured, you still want to do that type of movement. Same thing with a high bar. So if somebody's transitioning to heavier weight, this is a really good exercise to load it up. You don't have to worry about coordinating, the balancing, the neutralizing muscles. You can just push against a heavy weight. Then you go back to a free weight exercise, completely free weight, which is much more valuable. You're stabilizing, you're controlling the movement. You have a lot more confidence because you've used a heavy weight for a very similar movement. So another thing we've used this for, obviously, as a back squat exercise. It's a great assistance exercise for the quads. And we vary it up. Use this thing, put your feet way out, a little less tension on the knees, really feel it. Go as wide as you want, as far out as you want. So it's been really good for assistance work. And you can really feel it in the quads, especially where it inserts right in the knee, in the joint. So in this respect, it's very much like a typical leg extension, but you're not sitting down and just extending that leg and using one joint. Here, it's like a full body leg extension. You're using, it's a compound movement, you're using your whole body, and depending on where you put your feet, again, an amazing exercise for the quads. Okay, another thing we've added to this machine for maximal possible resistance is band hooks. So, the welded band hooks here. Just hook on a band as well as a plate here, a small plate. Now with the bands, I can practice quasi-isometric movements. I can start from the bottom, push up, use a really heavy band, so I can push, push, push. I won't be able to complete the rep, back down. So quasi-isometric practice and play. Demonstrating really quick. Come to the bottom, come into more of a front squat position. Start at the bottom, up, move into my sticking point, back down. So that type of movement has been really cool. So we've got 4 types of resistance with this: plates, bands, combination of plates and bands, or just body weight. All right, so again, if you're injured, this has been really, really handy. You have an upper body injury, your arm, shoulder, you can't hold a heavy bar on your back, you just pop in here and you can still squat really heavy. So we've loaded this thing up and used it for maximal efforts. It's also been fantastic for all these variations on the squat, and really is a great quad assistance exercise. It's the Fortis dynamic wall squat machine.